All right, all right, all right. Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing on this good Thursday? I see we have KB Rob and Quinn in the house. What's up? What's up? What's up? Appreciate you guys stopping in. So tonight we are going to talk about um the workplace and life in general uh after Trump has been in office for less than a month. Um First off, I want to send prayers out to everybody who has lost their job as a result of Trump and his foolishness. Um, what's up, Big Jim? I just want to send prayers up to people who are like facing the reality of Trump being our president because excuse my French, shit is about to get real. The shit has hit the fan. It is about to get real. Um Currently there are unless a couple of Republicans like wake up and say, what are we doing? Everything that this man wants to do is going to get pushed through. And it is going to hurt lots of people, lots of poor people, lots of middle class people. So my prayers go out to all of us because I ain't rich. I just happen to be a business owner but I'm feeling the effects of it, you know. All right. So I'm just going to start off with some of the behaviors that I've seen lately as a service provider to majority folks, especially like the day after the election. Snide remarks, oh, sorry, your person didn't win, or I bet you voted for Kamala. Things like that. And you really can't tell people off as you're providing them a service, but you can kind of educate them a little bit. Because as a black person, we've only had one black president. And they didn't let him do nothing in the 8 years. So what's the difference? You get what I'm saying? Like what's really the difference? We've been dealing with rich white men governing our country forever. So anybody want to tell me about workplace post-Trump election? How are you guys holding up? Hopefully everybody's doing well. I know for a lot of home care providers, we were just hit with the fact that a lot of our clientele are going to lose their Medicaid funding, which is not good. A lot of my clients cannot afford to provide services for themselves, pay for services for themselves. So in June, we'll just have to see what's what. Big Gent said, Cracker told me we're back. I would have asked them back from where. Hey, Mo. Yes. I know firsthand you guys are feeling it at the VA. And I feel sorry for employees and for the veterans because I hear veterans say all the time that their care is subpar at the VA. And this is just not with Gainesville VA. I've heard it from people that are in Tampa, people who are in Lake City, people up in DC are complaining about the VA. And so every day, with all these cuts, they're cutting some good people too. We walk in every day praying, we leave with a job, we have a family to provide for. Yes, I definitely understand. And like I said, my heart and my prayers go out to you guys because that's really hard, being able to walk in as your best self and have to wonder at the end of your shift if you're going to have a job the next day, which is really sad. And not to sound rude, but it's a lot of people that didn't vote, and people was telling them like, you gotta vote, this is very important. They knew what was coming. He didn't do much damage his first go round, but we knew if he ever got back in that he was going to slaughter the United States. And with Elon Musk on his side and the clown crew, that is exactly what he has done. He is running the land of the free, the home of the brave, into the ground. And it's so funny when you see white people with voters remorse. And I'm like, bitch, you knew what you thought. You thought you was rich. You thought you were like not going to be affected by this. Really? How? Like how did you feel like you would be you know how did you not know what his agenda was? I've had some Trumpers tell me this is not what they voted for. Jen, that's not an excuse, because he Project 25 outlined everything that that they said they was gonna do. So they had to have known. I think they just didn't want to vote for the black woman. I think that's what it was. Now I can't see nothing. I think that's exactly what it was. They would have rather put him back in office than to vote for the black woman. And now they're paying for it too. Um yeah, like I said, Mo, I feel like that's a crock of shit. They knew what he told them. He literally told us what he was gonna do, and he did it. He has not veered away from anything that he said he was gonna do. And the funny part about it is, let's just say for this month for Black History, his administration put out that they were not gonna do any DEI, none of that, none of these race-based holidays. And then, like right before Valentine's Day, he came out with an announcement about Black History Month. So they not even communicating with one another. It's like different people just doing whatever. You got Elon over here fucking with our money, getting into our private business. You got Trump over here signing all these bullshit laws in just stupid. Then you got the House and Congress saying, yeah, daddy said do it, let's do it. But let me tell you what they went against him on. So Elon said that because Doge found all this money, that the American public would get $5,000. The House said, oh, hell no. No, they won't. So now they beefing. You gonna give us our money, or you gonna hold the money? Yeah. They thought it wasn't going to affect them. They thought it was only for blacks. Yet, listen, but clearly it has nothing to do with race. This is what people, honestly, I feel like Trump is a racist and a sexist. Let me just put that out there. He's also a classist, because he don't give a damn at the end of the day. If you ain't, he just told y'all he's selling gold cards instead of green cards to the highest bidder. He was like, if your money right, come on. Who does that? So I just think that for too long we have just kind of like slept on Trump. Um yeah. And let's see what Trump would have to say about what we got going going on tonight. Let's see if we can get Trump on the line and see what he would say. Let's see what he would say.
It's a DEI issue.
Hold on. In case you didn't hear,
It's a DEI issue.
it's a DEI issue. Trump is so full of shit. But yes, they didn't expect, and I don't understand why white people don't understand that poor is poor. He don't give a damn what color you are. If you poor, you're poor. And it's a lot of more of them that's poor, living in tents, living in dilapidated houses. The Mormons. Hey, why is Elon in our business anyway? Exactly. 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 Who voted him into his position to have the authority to run through our financials, to run through our student loan information? Like right now, if you have student loans and they're in like the forbearance stage, or you are like income-based payments, you shut that shit down. Mine renew in May. I got an email like Monday to go in and start updating the paperwork, because it take a little bit of time for them to you to get your stuff in and mail it off to them. When I went to do it the other day, the link don't exist no more. It's gone. And there's a message that says, according to President Trump, we can no longer offer income-based student loan payments. They're gonna have to get it from the mud. I'm broke. I ain't got no money. I ain't got no money. For 4 years straight, when I was an educator, I paid almost $1,500 every 2 weeks towards my student loans that I will never pay off. But they based it on my income at the time. So I paid it in hopes that I could get a forbearance. It's not happening anymore. And so now I'm like, fuck you. I'm not paying you nothing. Oh, let me watch my mouth. I'm not paying you nothing. Pay you no mind. Vance don't know where he fit in. Vance don't fit nowhere. Vance was just a face for a ticket. If Trump could have run with Elon as the vice president, he would have did it. He would have did it. But because Elon was not born as an American citizen, he couldn't. But had he been able to, it definitely would have been Trump and Musk versus Trump and Vance. Vance is just he the front boy. You know, like how dope boys go get them a white girl to buy all the businesses. That's Vance. Vance just a front. Yep. It's to have, yeah. At this point, we should stop paying Sally Mae. I wasn't gonna pay her no way. I'm not paying her nothing. Pay her no mind. Cause I mean, what they say, you can't get blood from a turnip. I'm broke. I don't have any money. None. And because of the Republican policies that have been put in place, especially in Florida with healthcare, I now have a failing business because our wonderful Florida people voted for minimum wage to go up. Okay, cool. What they didn't foresee is that insurance companies said they told y'all to pay the people more money. They didn't tell us to pay the people more money. They didn't tell us to pay you more money. And so now you have a deficit in your pay ratio. Thanks to y'all good old friend DeSantis. He did that. Yep. So I tell people all the time, and I told people before he got in office to start thinking about alternate ways of making income, whether it was a part-time job, a side hustle, cutting back on expenses. Especially if you're in Florida, because it's been coming for a while. It's been happening for a while. And so a lot of people didn't pay attention to that. And they just kept living life as they was living life. And it's like now what a lot of us thought was security, we have none. We don't know, especially people that work in the public sector. You don't know if you have a job today or tomorrow, which is crazy. It's absolute crazy. And then they let Elon get on the news and lie and say it was people 200 years old collecting Social Security check. Bullshit. Bullshit. If these people, if these people are dead, I don't know how many people have had to bury other people, family members or whatever. But when you bury them, in order to, the funeral home applies for them a death certificate with the Vital Statistics Office. Without the death certificate, they can't bury your loved one. So what are you telling me? People are taking their family members and burying them in the woods and collecting their Social Security? Hmm? See, they saying a lot of stuff, and a lot of people is going right over their head because they only listening to what these folks are getting on the news and saying. But common sense, if anybody in here, and I think the only person who probably hasn't had to bury somebody that's on right now is Quinn. But when you bury someone, the funeral home has to register that death with Vital Statistics. Otherwise, they can't even put them in the ground. So when they register them with Vital Statistics, that cuts everything. And depending on what time of the month the person died, and that person got a check, you gotta run that check back. And they'll send you a letter asking for a certified letter in the mail asking for that check back. So how people can go on and on and on and on and collect these for 200-year-old people? Stop lying, Elon. Stop lying. And the news outlets should stop relaying what this fool is saying too, because it just doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right. Exactly. And Mr. Larry did it for my mom, my grandma, my cousins, everybody. So does every other funeral home, because like I said, they can't cremate that body without that certificate. They can't put it in the ground without that certificate. Actually, the body really can't be disposed in their, housed in their funeral home without that information. So how is people that they say they found that's dead, where the family is still collecting Social Security? Oh, okay. Like they got a couple, a black couple, and they said that they was collecting Social Security for her mother, right? Now she's 70. Get this now. So let's just say Mm, let's just say she's 70. Remember, her mama is 90, right? If if the mama died and they didn't take the body to a funeral home, which, then yeah, she still could be collecting that latest check. I can see that. But 200-year-old people, stop it. So Kendrick said, who is participating in the shopping boycott tomorrow? I am. I went to the grocery store today. I'm not messing with them stores tomorrow. I'm not spending a dime. If you don't know what Big Gent is talking about, tomorrow is the blackout. You do not purchase gas, groceries, online shopping. Stay your ass out of them stores, because I've been seeing a lot of people, oh, one day is not gonna matter. Let me tell you something. The people who say one day not gonna matter are the same people who gonna be crying before the end of this year, homeless, jobless, insuranceless. If we do things together, we can make a change. And another thing, the black dollar. Do y'all know how much money we spend annually? Like, white people will go thrift shopping. We take our ass to the mall because we got a point to prove to Mr. Jones and Mrs. Jones. White people will go to Salvation Army and run it back. We keep the economy going. We keep the economy going. We are the ones that keep the deficit from being, so high. We put our money back into the economy. When we got them stimulus checks, you know what white people did? Invested. You know what we did? Crab fucking boils. Didn't pay a bill off ever. Didn't come up, didn't buy a car, didn't pay your car note off, didn't do nothing. But the economy was stimulated. That's right, Quinn. Power in numbers, and the black dollar is very important. So if you have not, call your family members, call your friends, and tell them to keep their ass out the store. If they got to go buy something, tell them to buy that shit tonight, or wait till day after tomorrow. Wait till the first. Don't go into people's stores tomorrow. Don't do it. Don't do it, because, as Quinn said, power in numbers. Power is in numbers. And the black dollar is very important. Again, white folks go to thrift shops. We go to the mall. You go to a white person's house, they have a TV the size of a computer screen. You come to our house, we got an 8-inch plasma, or whatever the high def, whatever's the most expensive one they have. So again, let your people know to stay out of the stores. I just got a thing from Newsbreak, and it said U.S. judge halts Trump's administration's call for mass firing by agencies. A California federal judge on Thursday temporarily blocked the Trump administration from ordering the U.S. Department of Defense and other agencies to carry out mass firings of thousands of recently hired employees. Well, that's good. A little too late for all the other people who have lost their jobs, new hires, who aren't eligible for unemployment. People who, especially like with federal jobs, people who were virtual or remote workers, who primary base was in another state. You either had to move or lose your job. Big Gent said a 80-inch TV with a 78-inch wall. We gonna make that shit fix. It might be sitting like this, but we gonna put that shit on. So you can't tell me that the black dollar does not mean something in America, because it absolutely does. It absolutely does. Um, let's see what else Dump Trump is up to. Oh, and I want to give you this warning. There is a black guy, and his name is Byron Donalds. He is a Republican. He is married to Erica Donalds, a white woman who's also a Republican. He will be running for Florida's governor. Listen to me carefully. All skin folks ain't kinfolk. He looks like us, but he is not like us. If you don't know, he's currently a congressman in the 19th congressional district. Please go and read up on Mr. Donald's policies and how he votes. He is a Florida A&M graduate, DEI school. As you know, they trying to cut money. Pay attention. He is 46 years old, so he knows fucking better. He knows better. He was born in Brooklyn, New York, so he damn sure know better. Najee, because he's a Republican. Gillum was a Democrat. But I'm gonna tell you, if Florida don't come with somebody with some oomph, he's gonna win. Now, DeSantis' wife may possibly be running. Casey, her stepful wife looking ass self, she might be running as well. So my guess is, because Trump endorsed Brian Donalds, and then DeSantis' wife Casey is gonna run. Let me tell you what's gonna happen with the Republicans. All right. The white men are gonna vote for Casey. The white women are gonna vote for Donald. So now we need to come up with not a black person and not a woman to run against these two motherfuckers. We need a blue-eyed country boy, either rural Florida or South Florida. But he got to be all white, blue-eyed, blonde, to get these crackers to vote for him, to come up off of him. Because Byron ain't got no, I don't even know why they boosting Byron up. Byron might as well stay with the hell he had. Because if it's between him and Casey, Casey gonna get that. Because they don't want no nigga. And I hope black people don't fall. Listen, you see how, okay. I'm just gonna talk to people that look like me who voted for Trump. Listen to me carefully, dear heart. God bless you. We don't forgive you. Not yet. Maybe in 5 or 6 years, when all this shit, like when we kind of get out of the matrix, we might forgive you. You were hoodwinked. You were bamboozled. You listen to people like Kodak Black. You listen to people like Rick Ross, Snoop Dogg. You listen to millionaires. They not even the concerns we have, they don't have. They don't live in our neighborhoods. They don't even own property in our neighborhoods. But you listen to them. You took the advice of these people and you voted for Trump. And so now some of you don't have jobs. Some of your friends don't have jobs. Oh, and the churches that y'all go to, the non-denominational ones, the big mega churches, yeah, ICE might be coming to get some of your church members. Mm-hmm. He's the new Herschel Walker. He absolutely is. And Queen, you're right. Um, People are tired of DeSantis. And Gillum was close until his slip was hanging. And see, that's another thing. That's another thing. Do you know there are I would say over 30% of people in Congress, governor, people in politics, men in politics live a double life, white men. But and see, KB Rob, this is just what I was going to say. She said we need someone to represent us and not be sneaking around with other men or cheating with other women. Catch this tea. I would say 30% of all politicians, white males, are gay, living on the DL. They get a wife because that's what they were told to do. That's what politicians do. You have to have the perfect family life, right? They enter into this contract and they tell the wife, listen, we're going to be married for this amount of time. I'll take care of you. At the end, you'll get this amount of money. You'll get a book deal, this, that, and the third. But I'm going to have my man and you're going to deal with it. Or I'm going to have my other women and you're going to deal with it. The only time we know about it is when the shit hit the fan. You can look at some of these white men and tell that they straight butt pirates, that they're gay, that they're DL. I guarantee if we could follow them around without them knowing, you would find out exactly what they got going on. Their mannerisms, and that's gonna be next week's topic. Just came to my mind. So next week, real quick, we are going to talk about women who marry men on a DL or gay men or feminine men. We'll talk about that next week. But KB Rob, check this out. When Bill Clinton was in office and Monica Lewinsky was up under that desk, our economy was good. Hats off to Monica. I don't know why she kept the dirty dress. Hats off to her. She kept us straight. She kept Bill straight. So again, we never know until the shit hits the fan what's going on in these people's private lives. Now, I will say, and y'all probably finna cuss me out for this, the only thing right now that I agree with Trump is men in women's sports. Transgender men in women's sport should not be allowed. That is one of the only things that me and this man see eye to eye about. I don't understand how people are okay with men competing against women and beating women, but yeah, they have to get ahead of the story. No. So KB Rob says they have to get ahead of the story, tell people you're gay or lesbian while campaigning. And when they do that, they lose their base voters. They'll lose their base voters. Because if you think about it, the majority of people that vote are white, straight men. White, straight men. I'm going to go deeper. White, straight, Catholic men. So right then and there, when you say I'm homosexual, that cut a big divide in your base of voters. So no, they can't come out and tell the truth about themselves. We just, as a country, we're not ready for that. We're not ready for that. We're not. It's sad because some of those straight Catholic down the line white men have sons and daughters who are lesbians and gays. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they can't come out and say it. And the ones that do, they lose early in the voting process, or they can't raise funds. So that's why they don't say anything, because it doesn't fit their base voters. Yeah. I mean, it would be nice to have people to live their truths, but in today's society, you can't. And then when you come out, just like when all this stuff came out about Gillum, right? You see how the black community turned against him? I mean, he was the poster boy. He was the poster boy. Like, he was perfect. And then when all this stuff came out, you rarely saw the people who were pushing him, exalting him, and encouraging him to run. You rarely saw those people come to his defense and say, hey, he's just human. He's just a man. And if his wife is okay with it, we should be okay with it. Now, the smoking crack was too much Marion Barry type of shit. But the gay stuff, I'm a firm believer you can't help who you fall in love with. And it ain't none of our business. But in today's society, you cannot you can't live your truth like that. You cannot live your truth like that. So you guys, I've talked a lot. Tell me about how work is going. Um he lost before the scandal. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. It was no way that he was gonna listen. Florida is still one of the most, we are the southernest state in America. And even though at the very bottom of Florida, it's full of Latinos, Mexicans, Haitians, it's really the melting pot. But the majority of Florida, the base of Florida, are white people. And a lot of those white people still feel like the South should have won. They still feel like they should have had niggas in the field picking their cottons and peas. Mm-hmm. So it would be hard for all of the state of Florida all to get on one accord to put a black person over the state of Florida. Now, you have black people in various areas in Florida who have won their seats. Like, for instance, Gainesville. This is why DeSantis hate Gainesville so much. Because if you can recall, maybe I would say 2 years ago, Gainesville was Chocolate City. The majority of the commissions had black seats, right? Just on the city. You had Desmond, you had Cynthia, the city manager, Cynthia, black. The sheriff was black. The police chief was black. The fire chief was black. We was chocolate fucking city. And that drove DeSantis and his lunatics crazy. 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 Crazy to the point that this man has started his own DEI reduction program, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Doge program in Florida. And out of all the cities, out of every city in the state of Florida, he brings up Gainesville because we have a DEI program in Gainesville. And he went on to say that the DEI program put together a Juneteenth program. Now, first of all, it was a lie because that particular office did not do that. It was the cultural and arts program that did that. Not the DEI program. Not the DEI program. See, what he failed to do was a little bit of homework. He figured, oh, because it was a DEI office, that they did everything black, which is not the truth. This DEI office deals with handicap accessibility, veterans concerns, LGBTQRS, elemental P, RS, TS issues. They talk about equity. They help with small businesses. And not all small businesses are run by black people. You have women, handicapped, veterans, disabled. And white people have bought into this thing that all black people, DEI hires, were hired because they're black. That because a black person has a job of substance, they have to be dumb, but was hired because of the skin color. And that's absolutely not true. And yes, he had the superintendent removed, but then his wife turned around and plagiarized the speech too. So who was worse? Tit for tat, right? And the school board been in shambles ever since then. Ever since then. Oh, and yeah, and the school board was chocolate too. It drove him crazy. It was too many of us in Gainesville. But guess what? White folks voted for him. In the last election, they had a gay guy running for the school board, one of the school board chair positions, right? He probably would have gotten it had he not said he was gay, openly gay. He on paper, perfect. Former school teacher, active in the community before even running. But on his platform, he got on his little video and talked about his husband. Cut his base. Should have kept his fucking mouth shut. Because what you do at home ain't none of our fucking business. He probably would have won. Probably would have won. Yep. Yep. Appointed an incompetent white woman. Yes. Didn't know her. Yeah. I don't know how he figured that. He just picked her up and put her in office. And the next go round, she was out of there. So yeah. But this goes back to what I was saying. It's very important that we vote. I believe there's going to be a special election coming April 1st in certain districts. So look out for that. Encourage your children to get registered to vote. If you have children away in college, encourage them to do absentee ballots, even if you have to fill it out for them, and just take it to them, have them to sign it, and they'll mail it in. Um, your parents, your old uncles and aunties, encourage them to get up and go vote, even if you have to take them, because what we did over I would say the last 8 years is we got lazy. We really got lazy, and we're paying for that laziness, and we're gonna pay for it for the next 4 years. We have a convicted felon, a multi-convicted felon running our country, and there's nothing we can do about it. And he's gonna cause so much destruction in these next 4 years that it's gonna take 10 to 12 years to undo some of the shit that he has done. And in the meantime, a lot of people are going to suffer. A lot of people are going to have to get used to living a lifestyle that is totally different than what they lived 3 or 4 years ago. We just have to be smart. We have to look at the long haul, and we have to stop being so reactive versus being proactive. And this is why I say I don't know who the Democrats are shaping up to run for governor, but they better come with their best. They gotta come with their best, and they better not put no Latino woman, a man. This has to be a white, blonde, either from South Florida or extremely North Florida for us to win. Yep. He got to have a little bit of money. He got to be able to mix with the best of the best. That's just my thoughts. That's just my thoughts. Well, guys, as always, I appreciate you all for tuning in on this good old Thursday night. All my ride or dies, I appreciate you. Anything else? Any last comments? Any thoughts? I know it's lagging a little bit because I'm looking at my other screen and it's lagging. But that's okay. Again, I want to thank you guys. Next week, Tim Tebow? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because you have to find some people who are not, religion can't be their fort, can't be the head right now. Because we got some non-believers out there. And yeah, not Tim. Not Timmy. Timmy looked like not Timmy. I ain't gonna even talk about Tim. I ain't gonna even talk about him. Not Timmy. No. But we definitely need somebody. Go Gator. Is she still in jail? Did they let her out? What was her name? Korean? Was it Korean? I think she was in federal prison. I think they let her out. She didn't do nothing no different than nobody else in my book. All right, guys. I appreciate you. Have a great night. And catch you next week.